Here is Soundation. Soundation. We're going to be making some sick beats of whatever style of music you like. It's going to let us write some music without really knowing anything about music, although it does help a little if you do. So first, you need to make your account and launch the studio. I've already made my account. When you make your account, you're going to click on the sign in using Google button. This lets you not have to really make an account, but lets you sign in using Google. So click the sign in using Google button. For your username, use the first part of your email address so that we know who you are if we end up sharing things. Once you've made an account and you're signed in, you're going to launch the studio. Soundation is a digital audio workstation, or DAW. DAWs are basically sound editing software with multiple tracks, multiple channels, we call them channels, and they generally also include MIDI composition and dealing with MIDI files, which we won't be doing in this project, but hopefully eventually if this goes pretty smooth. So a couple parts of Soundation I'd like to tell you about in this first video. Over here, we see the different channels. Each channel will have a single sound, and you can change that sound without changing the other sounds, and they play on top of each other. It's sort of like layers in Pixlr or layers in Scratch, where they play on top of each other. Now, there are two types of channels in Soundation, really three, but basically two types of channels. We have audio channels. Audio channels let you record sound directly into Soundation, and it lets you load other actual audio files. So when I say audio files, I mean files that actually contain real sound. WAV files, MP3s, MP4s, all sorts of audio files, files of sound. For these projects, we're going to be using audio channels. To make new audio channels, you click on the plus button at the bottom. You can also rename your channels by double-clicking, typing, and hitting enter. Now, the other type of channel are the instrument channels, or MIDI channels. Soundation refers to them as instrument channels. These only deal with MIDI files, which MIDI files are not sound, but they're digital representations of music. We'll talk about that more in class. We do not need MIDI channels, instrument channels for this project. So all you have to do is highlight the channel, click delete. That deletes the channel. You highlight the channel, click delete, and to add audio channels, hit the plus sign. You'll need 4 channels for this project. We also have the sound library over here, which has lots of samples already. It's pretty cool. All of these samples being a short snippet of music that you can use to make bigger things. We have all sorts of different instruments. To preview them, double click. It'll show you what it sounds like. There's lots of world instruments in here from different cultures. Lots of electronic sounds. If you really look, hard, there's sounds from different styles of music. Now, it'll help you for your project. You know, some of these have a number in front, and that is the speed of the music. It'll help you. It's not impossible, but it's a lot easier if you use things with the same number in front, because that means the music is that same speed. And it's not impossible to fix it if it's not the same speed, but for our purposes, try to find things with the same speed. If you want to use something at different speed, let me know and I can show you individually. There's one other thing to pay attention to. Some of these have a letter afterwards, or combination of letters. If it's in minor, for instance, this is in C, this is in C, this is in D minor. Sometimes it's just an M. You want to have it to have the same number in front and the same letters in the back. If there's a suffix like this for the key, it's possible to do different things, but it's just going to sound a little bit better. So use the same number in front and the same letters in the back. If there's a suffix, not all the drums don't have keys. And something else to consider, For our project with audio files, you cannot use the MIDI files. So bad. Stay away from the MIDI folder for this project. This next video will have some more specifics on how to make the project once you have an overview of Soundation.